And my name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University. And welcome back to 10 at 10, episode 112. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and local partners Sprocket Innovation in Paducah and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. Last week, we started talking about social media, the blue check, the way that Twitter and Facebook and Instagram are going to start charging for security services on their platform. And we talked about what that meant for security. Was that a good thing? Was that a bad thing? And then this week we wanted to talk about if you're not paying for the security services, which I don't know that I necessarily recommend that you do that. What are the things that you can do or should do? So let's talk a little bit about some social media tips. And I found this list from Fortinet that I like. Some tips for social media. Enable multi-factor authentication. Now, if you'll recall from last week, that's one of the pieces that we talked about that some organizations that may start charging you for multi-factor authentication. If it's free, if it's available, then absolutely you should use it. Multi-factor authentication in every single account that you have, social media, banking, entertainment. I don't care, all your work accounts. I don't care what it is. If the option is there for multi-factor authentication, then I want to make sure that you do that. Another one is let me change that up a little bit. I noticed that was showing up a little bit different. Do not reuse passwords. There's actually a couple things that one, if you can use an email address that's not publicly known, that's good too. I mean, it's a basic step or a simple step to overcome for a hacker, but every little step helps. So not reusing a username, also not reusing passwords is vital. Typically, usernames are stored in a way that's easy for somebody to find, but passwords are hashed. So they're not going to know what your password is unless it's the same thing. So, some people will say, okay, my password is password 1, and then they'll change it to password 2, to password 3, to password 4. Now, I'm going to assume that the word password is actually some long, complex, hard to guess phrase with upper and lowercase and different things. But the point is that as soon as you add that new number, it's a new hash and it's all new. So they're going to have to come up and re-guess everything that you've done. They're not going to tell a good hash algorithm and won't be able to figure out anything from two different passwords. So they won't know that they were close in numbers. I'm not suggesting that you use 1, 2, 3, 4 on the end of your password, but it is really important to not reuse passwords. We've talked about that before on 10 at 10. I am sure we will talk about that again on 10 at 10. But that is a very important piece. Do not reuse passwords. Number 3 is regularly update your security settings across your platforms. So what I mean by that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the social media platforms that you probably use do regular updates to their security. They're doing that for a couple of reasons. One, because they identify a flaw in their security and they want to address whatever that flaw is. And so they're trying to make their platform more secure. Two, they may not have identified a flaw, but there's new technologies, there's new things that they can do. So they're adding new features. And what happens sometimes is if they add a new feature or something changes, then it may have accidentally altered your previous settings. So you want to have a regular checkpoint so that you can look at your settings and make sure that what you're doing in your social media account is what is secure and that you should be doing. So definitely keep an eye on that on a regular basis. Number 4 is to narrow down connections to reduce unknown threats. Let me give an example of this. How many people on your friend list are you truly friends with? I am guessing that you, like me, may have some friends on our Facebook account that we have not talked to in a long time. Maybe they were friends in high school. Maybe we met them somewhere, and for whatever reason, we became friends with that person. That is at least somebody you know. But what if we both like the same basketball team or the same baseball team and we become friends with them just because we have a baseball team in common? Do you think every person that likes the St. Louis Cardinals is safe to be friends with? Probably not. Um, do you think that a threat actor might put information on a fake profile to trick us into thinking that we have stuff in common? You better believe it. Absolutely, that happens. So the point is, if you don't know your friends, if you don't know your connections, if you don't know the people that you are allowing into your profile, then you're adding risk that you don't need to. The more that you can narrow down your friend list, the more that you can narrow down your connections, the better off you'll be and the safer that your account will be. It's not a overly complicated thing, but for so many people, it's about how many friends do we have, how many connections do we have, how many people should we connect to. Those things do matter. Monitor social media for security risk. So what we mean by that is that social media is a risk for security. If there are, and I'm going to connect this to number 6 on this list, if there is a phishing attack that's happening, um, that's a risk that we might click on that. There's the popular ones. Click it, like our page, and share this post, or click here and fill out this form to win a free iPad. Well, that may not actually be a free iPad. Maybe it's actually a phishing attempt. Maybe it's a coordinated attack of your account. On the flip side, people share their birth date, both their birthday and their year, and some people share their cell phone, and some people share their even their address, or at least their email address. All of this information is on social media. Now, there's a better process in place now so that for young people, it's harder to guess their social security number from their birth date, but it's still easier to guess personal information from your birth date than it is if that's something that you protect. Even if you want to share your day, the year is something that needs to be protected. But if you're also sharing something that on social media that you're using for um, your password, which you shouldn't do, but a lot of people do, if you're sharing that information on social media and you're using that for your password, there's a risk there and a severe vulnerability in your information. And then number 7 is to look out for spoofs of your account. There's a lot of people that can go in, create an account, use your same profile picture, use your same name, and start adding friends, your friends that you're connected to, without your permission. Often people will see a duplicate account of their Facebook page and say, I've been hacked. Well, really, you haven't been hacked in the sense that they don't have to break into your information to get it. So many people don't look at the security settings and share all of that information that they would need to do that publicly. So if you're sharing all of that publicly, then they don't actually need to hack your account to create that phishing or that fake account. And that's what's happening, is that those fake accounts are being created. Social media is great for a lot of things, for staying connected with folks, for being able to see kids grow up from high school friends, see how things are changing. All of those are great reasons to have social media. But with social media, like so many technologies, there come risk. And if we're not diligent, if we're not staying aware, if we're not continually to be on the lookout for those threats, then we may become the victim without meaning to. I hope you take these 7 tips to heart. I hope you implement these 7 tips. Actually, I hope you're already implementing these 7 tips. If not, please do that. Thank you very much for joining us today on 10 at 10. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I'll see you next week back here on 10 at 10. Thank you. Bye.